Welcome everyone to another riveting edition of our Critical Minds in Tech podcast, where business insight meets cutting-edge AI talk and discuss the paper of relevance, the impact of generative AI on critical thinking, self-reported reductions in cognitive effort and confidence effects from a survey of knowledge workers, a thought-provoking subject.
Absolutely thrilled to join this roundtable. I'm a strategic consultant focused on how organizations adopt generative AI and sometimes how they over-adopt it.
Hello. As a data scientist specializing in enterprise solutions, I've seen AI transform everyday tasks, like drafting policy documents, into a breeze, but I also see folks skipping the tough thinking.
Yes, indeed. I'm a psychology of work researcher. There's that well-known quote, "The unexamined AI output is not worth shipping," right? So we need to keep that reflection alive.
Well, hi there. I'm the CFO in a global manufacturing firm. I'm not entirely certain how we balance rapid AI deployment with deeper due diligence, but I'm curious to learn from you all.
Greetings. I'm a product manager, bridging the gap between business leaders and AI technologists. Generative AIs had a massive impact on product roadmaps and creative problem solving.
So, let's dive in. We have a big topic: how generative AI can reduce some cognitive overhead, while perhaps ironically risking our critical thinking muscles. Care to share a real-world scenario?
Sure, for instance, a Fortune 500 retailer used ChatGPT to generate thousands of marketing taglines. That was a wow moment for speed. But then, their team realized they'd neglected to verify brand alignment, leading to slogans that contradicted company values.
I remember that fiasco. They had taglines like, "Get it for free or your money back," which is obviously not sustainable. It became a comedic cautionary tale in data science circles.
Right, it shows the shift. We offload knowledge retrieval, but must invest more in verifying or stewarding the final output. It's like hiring an intern who's super fast, but needs constant supervision to ensure accuracy.
This hits home in finance. We used a generative model for quarterly earnings write-ups, but discovered subtle errors, like references to regulations that had been obsolete for 10 years. If I just trusted the AI, I'd be in serious trouble.
And here I thought we all loved interns. But it's a good analogy. Expert 3, I agree with you, but I also see a slightly different perspective. Many times, teams want to rely on the intern for creative leaps, not just tasks. So a total clampdown might squash that creativity.
Precisely. If we talk about business leaders, they want ROI, but if employees blindly trust AI, the brand image or compliance can suffer. Striking that equilibrium is the million-dollar question.
Let me add a heuristic. Always cross-check new info, no matter how polished it seems. Or as I like to say, if it's too good to be true, it probably needs debugging.
Yes. Well, I believe the data suggests we only catch those big mistakes if we actively look for them. Over-reliance creeps in when tasks feel routine. People become complacent.
And from a CFO's lens, we talk risk management 24/7. So we test AI outputs with small pilot groups, embed controls, and maintain final accountability with human reviewers.
A nice business case extension is in HR. Using AI for candidate screening can be super swift, but requires ethical and inclusive oversight. That's mission critical because bias is not just a glitch, it's a reputational meltdown waiting to happen.
Exactly. So for our listeners, both the tech-savvy and the executive crowd, what's your top tip on marrying productivity gains with the necessity for well-honed critical thinking?
Drive training programs that explicitly teach employees to question AI outputs and to refine prompts. Skepticism isn't negativity, it's quality assurance.
Absolutely. And build trust but verify loops using small real-world tests. Actually, we ran a check where the AI incorrectly cited a non-existent journal article, and none of us noticed for days. Huge eye-opener.
Encourage reflection as part of the workflow, even if it's a 30-second pause. The psychologist in me believes quick mental pit stops, like "is this consistent with what I know?" can prevent disasters.
From the CFO seat, I say treat these solutions as you treat any investment. Measure ROI, measure risks, do thorough audits.
And if you do it right, you get speed, creativity, and brand consistency without losing your critical edge. Think Iron Man's suit. It amplifies your power, but you still need to pilot it carefully.
I love that Iron Man analogy. Powerful, but you're still in the driver's seat. Thanks to all our experts for a lively, insightful chat. Hope you had as much fun as I did.
This has been awesome. If I ever start trusting AI too much, I'll re-listen to this episode.
Same here. And next time, let's talk about AI that does your laundry too.
Ha! Now that might be one area I wouldn't mind losing my critical thinking to.
Great note to end on part 1 of this episode. Thanks to everyone for tuning in. And remember, adopt generative AI with your eyes wide open. Short break, stay tuned for deep dive. Welcome back to Critical Minds in Tech, where we pick up from our last conversation about GenAI's impact on critical thinking. Today's deeper focus, the long-term consequences of coexisting with more advanced AI. Buckle up, because we're diving into the future.
Absolutely. As a strategic consultant, I see leaders imagining AI as an infinitely upgradable partner, while we humans have the same old hardware. This mismatch raises critical questions. Are we prepared for an AI that iterates faster than we can learn?
Right. I'm a data scientist, and I already see my clients expecting employees to keep pace with AI updates. It's not straightforward. We can't just install human v2.0. So the question is, do we shift roles, or do we let AI keep us in a constant chase?
As a work psychologist, I worry about burnout and skill atrophy. If AI constantly evolves, humans might do less hands-on, but more oversight, until that oversight demands knowledge we haven't updated in ages. It's a new kind of stress dynamic.
Coming from a CFO perspective, every upgrade to AI compels us to reevaluate processes, budgets, even our revenue models. We can't ignore that superintelligent systems could reshape entire markets at warp speed. That's risk, but also opportunity.
Let's think about synergy. If AI's intelligence skyrockets, we need new ways of interfacing, like advanced prompter training, so we feed the AI good context. We can't just say, here's ChatGPT 47, best of luck. We need structured workflows that emphasize ethical guardrails and sense checking.
Great points. Let's talk about how we humans retool ourselves. Maybe not an upgrade chip in our brain, but new professional roles or methods of reflection.
One approach is microeducation. We incorporate short, ongoing lessons whenever AI updates. It's like learning to handle a new car model. We don't rewrite the entire driving manual, we adapt to new features step by step.
Yes, and ironically, to keep our critical thinking fresh, we might build AI tools that test us periodically, like a puzzle or challenge mode that ensures we're still spotting anomalies.
That's borderline hilarious, an AI minigame to keep us cognitively sharp. But it might work. It addresses that psychological principle. Practice fosters retention. Without routine practice, we lose the skill to challenge outputs effectively.
Another angle, co-design. Bring humans into the loop at the system design phase. So we shape these superintelligent systems around real human workflows. Then AI is not just an alien intelligence racing ahead, it's more like an evolving partner.
Exactly. So the future workforce is part AI translator, part analyst, part caretaker of the brand. Think of a pilot dealing with autopilot systems in aviation. The pilot must stay engaged or risk losing situational awareness.
Let's pivot to the question of superintelligence. Some say that eventually AI will become so powerful it could outthink us in every domain. Is that scenario hype, or do we need to plan for it?
Well, I believe planning is wise. Even if full-blown superintelligence is decades away, partial forms of it are disruptive enough. It's like investing in flood insurance before the water's at your door.
Right? And from a data standpoint, small leaps in AI intelligence have big ripple effects, like drastically faster data analysis or creative leaps in product design. Let's not forget, all big changes start as small waves.
Psychologically, there's also an existential side. Humans want a sense of meaning. If an AI can do every job better, where does that leave us? We need to cultivate our uniquely human strengths, empathy, moral judgment, and creativity that's not purely algorithmic.
To that point, finances and markets thrive on innovation. If AI can handle the bulk of data crunching, we can redirect human energy to forging relationships, negotiating nuanced deals, and crafting strategies that resonate on an emotional level. It's not purely logical.
Let's not forget the comedic angle. If the AI is unstoppable, we can pivot to entertainment-based jobs. Humans, we're the best at stand-up comedy, at least until AI nails the punchlines too.
Ha! That's one way to preserve job security, indeed. On a more serious note, can we detail practical steps for businesses who want to incorporate advanced AI without losing that human edge?
Step 1. Define what critical thinking checkpoints you cannot outsource, like final decisions on brand messaging or core strategic pivots. Make sure people remain responsible for those tasks.
Step 2. Invest in continuing education. Provide micro-courses for everyone from interns to executives on new AI functionalities and on how to question AI.
Step 3. Create a culture of reflection. Frequent after-action reviews to see if trusting AI paid off or if it introduced hidden biases. Publish those lessons internally so everyone learns collectively.
Step 4. Measure outcomes from both AI improvements and human interventions. If your bottom line is going up, but you see rising employee confusion, that's a red flag.
And step 5, plan for possible AI expansions. Have a roadmap that accounts for next-gen AI, whether it's version 4.0 or 10.0, so there's some continuity in your organizational strategy.
Fantastic. Let's talk personal level, beyond the organization. How do individuals thrive in this super intelligent environment?
I'd say keep curiosity alive. Don't let AI do all the learning for you. If it references new frameworks or research, go read them yourself.
And keep practicing your craft without AI. Sometimes stepping away from the tool helps you maintain raw problem-solving muscle. It's like occasionally navigating without GPS to remember how maps work.
Exactly. Also, maintain social connections. Knowledge shared among humans fosters resilience. Mentorship, team discussions, brainstorming sessions all reaffirm our collective wisdom.
Sure, and from a CFO lens, that social capital can't be replicated by an LLM. Trust and relationships among stakeholders drive deals and partnerships forward. AI can't replicate heartfelt networking events just yet.
Another future-forward idea, new human-AI synergy roles. Maybe AI ethicist or AI scenario planner. Folks who bridge not just tech and business, but also moral societal questions. Our world is definitely getting bigger, so to speak.
Indeed. As we wrap up, I'm reminded of Arthur C. Clarke's saying, "Any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic." Maybe we add, magic still needs a human magician behind it.
Yes, and sometimes the magician needs to dust off a few old illusions and refresh the stage presence.
Precisely. We can't vanish ourselves from the equation. AI can assist with illusions, but we're still the main act.
Couldn't have said it better. Maintain the sense of awe, but don't surrender your own skill set.
Right on. And that's an exciting but also daunting road. There's plenty to gain and plenty to prepare for.
If we embrace this with clear eyes, we can transform industries while ensuring we keep humanity's creative spark alive.
Thank you all. This has been a deep yet spirited session. Until next time, stay curious, stay thoughtful, and keep that critical edge. Another quick break before part 3. Hello and welcome to this final episode of Critical Minds in Tech, where we'll explore the futuristic horizon of AI-driven workloads, how organizations might restructure, and where humans fit amidst all that evolution.
Couldn't be more excited to close out on a high note. I'm a strategic consultant, and I see a future where organizations merge teams around AI capabilities, like entire AI muscle divisions that handle training, oversight, and integration.
Yes, as a data scientist, I already feel the shift. We We used to have separate analytics departments, but advanced AI demands cross-functional squads, combining domain expertise, ethics, and even creativity under one roof.
It reminds me of an old principle: structure follows strategy. If AI is core to strategy, structures must adapt. The best prepared humans, those who can interpret AI's results, insert ethical considerations, and still innovate in ways AI can't replicate.
Right, I'm from finance, and I watch how advanced AI cracks complex tasks, forecasting demand, analyzing risk, even tracking emotional sentiment in stakeholder communications. It's mind-blowing, but if we just nod at the AI results, we risk deskilling ourselves.
Precisely. People who question or refine AI logic will rise. If you want to stand out, learn how AI arrives at conclusions, whether through interpretability tools or plain old trial and error. Understanding the logic can keep your reasoning sharp.
So, for knowledge work, how will we measure human performance in an AI-saturated office? After all, the AI might do 80% of the heavy lifting.
Humans will be judged by unique contributions, like bridging intangible nuances or forging relationships that AI can't. I see metrics around human insight, a combination of oversight, ethical judgments, and that intangible spark of new ideas.
Indeed, plus we might measure collaborative synergy with AI. If a manager can use the AI to rapidly pilot new strategies, that manager's outcome metrics surge. But as we said, it shouldn't become an autopilot scenario. Humans must remain engaged.
Over-reliance can creep in, though. I'm not entirely convinced it won't lead to passive employees letting the AI run everything. We need guardrails, scheduled breaks from AI, or mandatory reflection steps, so we don't devolve into mere button pressers.
Amen. Diminished engagement spells trouble, loss of institutional knowledge, risk of major blind spots. Yet done well, advanced AI can be a massive productivity lever. It's a balancing act we're all still learning.
Let's encourage the next generation to see AI not as competition, but as a collaborative partner. Master prompt engineering, interpret edge cases, and maintain your capacity to think on your own 2 feet. That's how you stay indispensable.
Well said. In the end, we're forging a path toward coexisting with increasingly capable AI, maybe even AGI or superintelligence. Any final motivational thought for the future workforce?
Embrace that you are more than your algorithms. AI might be faster, but you have empathy, passion, and the power to reimagine.
And remember, the best results come from synergy, like mixing AI's lightning speed with human heart and reason.
Precisely. People carry context, culture, and conscience that superintelligence still struggles to replicate.
The bottom line, if you keep learning, keep questioning, you'll never be obsolete.
Yes, future belongs to those who see AI not as the end of thinking, but a catalyst for better thinking.
Fantastic. That's a wrap on Critical Minds in Tech. Thank you all for staying with us through these episodes. Now go forth, innovate fearlessly, and remain the critical thinkers you were meant to be.